And so trying to get back to basics and like, what would life look like? This is always a good barometer. What would life look like if your kid was growing up in like the 80s? Right? What sort of access to screens would they have? Right? It's probably watching, Leave It to Beaver in the evening. I mean, I'm not that old, but like I think that's black and white, right? Um, but it's like, watching something with the family in the evening, like what kind of access versus what kind of access to screens do they have now? Social media, you want to be in constant comparison. Comparison is the thief of happiness. You want to make your kids unhappy, give them social media, right? And so it's just kind of a rule, like in our house, except for YouTube, which I monitor, like there's no social media, right? So there's some of these things that you can kind of, and you have to step into it lightly, depending on how old the kid is and whatever. The earlier you start, the better. But the better that you can come back to all natural food, natural cooking, lots of water, lots of movement. What kind of exercise are they getting? Are they getting outside every day? What kind of fun are they having? Is fun like kids are supposed to be having fun, right? So yes, we want them to go to school and we want them to be successful, but we have to make sure that fun is a priority for them. Now, fun is a top value for me. It may not be for that individual kid, but I do think that there is a period of development where all kids really want to have fun and they want to be outside and they want to be running around with their friends, right? So we have to make sure that we're fostering that and allow them to be kids for as long as possible. And so that's, I never really wanted to get into mindset and emotional stuff, but I personally, as well as professionally, but I realized once I jumped into it personally, that it transformed my life. And then I wanted to bring it to everybody that I knew. And the same thing goes, my daughter's 13 and I'm like, hey, you ready to do your mindset stuff? And she says, no, I don't want to do the mindset stuff. I say, okay, when do you want to do it? Or do you realize that it's important? She's like, yes, I realize that it's important, but I'm 13. And I'm like, yes, I understand that. You realize that the sooner that you do this, the more you're going to be able to achieve everything that you want in your life. She's like, that's not important to me right now. So you have to figure out, where your kid's at. And she says she's going to do it at some point. And so, maybe it'll be when she's kind of stuck or whatever, and so you have to wait for that door to open. But these are life skills that we really have to be teaching our kids so they're going to be successful. I really wish that I learned mindset when I was growing up. Like I know that it would have made my journey so much easier instead of me getting caught in suffering time and time again.